Hey YouTube, man, it's your boy TJ. Maybe back with another video. Maybe you got this Henry Ruggs and situation, man. Let's check it out. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't saying like what Henry Ruggs did. It was horrible. Let's get that out of the way now. It was horrible situation he did. You know, driving fast, 100-something miles per hour. That was wrong. R.I.P. the lady and the dog, dude. Damn. But I'm saying, dude, like if he get released out of jail, bro, team's gonna go after this man. And if I'm a GM, I'm grabbing him. You don't let no talent and speed like that just not play, and he could play. Come on, fam.
Situation.
You can't let no player just
every
sit out
single
like
time
that.
I
We
want to make
gotta
an
go grab
update on Henry
Henry
Ruggs.
Ruggs,
We
cold,
also
boy.
get an update on
I don't
Damon
give a damn.
Arnette. Both of these two individuals
What
were
happened to
supposed
Damon
to
Arnette? I ain't
be
hear
the
this nigga
cornerstone
name
of
once,
the Las
boy.
Vegas Raiders. They were drafted in the same first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, and they both happened to mess it up in spectacular
Matter of fact, I think
fashion. But here's the
Arnette in the
craziest
UFL,
part, and
if
this is
I
why you
remember.
should stick around to the end. One of these guys got signed by the Houston Texans yesterday, and the other one left prison to do something that he should have done a long time ago.
Arnette
So
signed with
before
the
we get to the
Texans?
content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to get the latest NFL news during the offseason. And really quick, the last time Prize Picks gave us a free swear, we were easily able to cash with a 4-man play. Instagram page at the
Yeah,
Forza
fuck with you,
lineups
Mike,
when you
but,
think of a 1-2 like appearance. The
don't care
life
about
of a
that.
23-year-old woman while driving 156 miles per hour while drunk.
156.
Henry Ruggs got a special release from prison for like 2 hours to speak at this Hope for Prisoners event in Las Vegas. And here's what he said.
One that I wish I could turn back the hands of time. I would love for them to meet the real Henry Ruggs and not the one that was escaping from something. Sincerely apologize for not only being a part of that situation, but the fact that my face is always in the news. My face is always in the newspaper, so I have to constantly be reminded of the situation, be reminded of me, and see, those memories have to continue to rise because of all of the fame and notoriety that I have, which I never asked for.
But wait, it gets even more interesting.
Yeah, and another thing too, though, like, yeah, he did what he did, horrible what he did, but everybody made mistakes, bro. You really think he intentionally tried to kill? He was just driving fast. He was drunk, which he should never did that. But everybody make mistakes. Everybody human at the end of the day, bro. Like, nobody ain't perfect. Everybody make mistakes. He deserves a second chance, bro.
And
Everybody should
personally,
deserve
I
a
don't
second
know how I
chance.
feel about this. The man is sitting there apologizing for causing pain to the victim's family because his face is quote unquote always in the news. And then literally in the same breath, when someone asks if he wants to play for the Raiders again, he goes, "Why would I not? I don't feel like I ended on the terms that are meaningful to me. I would love to play again." And look, I understand you currently got the opportunity to make generational wealth taken away from you. You squander that opportunity by making a horrific decision and a terrible mistake. And even then, people don't think that was enough punishment for Henry Ruggs. But no matter how we feel about Henry Ruggs, I think we could all agree unanimously that, dude, just read the room. You ended someone's life and then you're worried about your football career? I just thought that was interesting. And here's where it gets really crazy. The very next day, Damon Arnette, the other Las Vegas Raiders first rounder that we're going to talk about, just signed with the Houston Texans. I'm not kidding. Both of these stories are happening at the exact same time. So let me take you back to where this all started. It's April 2020. The Raiders are in Las Vegas for their first draft as the Las Vegas Raiders. They're feeling pretty damn good about themselves. They've got 2 first-round picks, and they're about to make what they think are franchise-changing moves. They desperately needed a wide receiver, and they picked a hell of a draft to need a wide receiver because in the 2020 NFL draft, the draft that they have 2 first-round picks in, they had their choice between Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and T. Higgins. We already know that CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson would eventually become 2 of the top wide receivers in the entire NFL. And Henry Ruggs was selected first out of all of these individuals. The reason? Well, Henry Ruggs III was the prototypical Al Davis pick. He had a 4.27 40 time, which is the 4th fastest in combine history. The dude set the Alabama state record in the 100
Like I'm saying, though, like if he get released and I'm a GM and he open, hey, Ruggs, come on in. Ruggs, come on in, man. Come on in. I'm telling you, bro. You just don't let no talent like this just City free agency, he's a good receiver. Before he did what he did, bro, Ruggs was like that, especially his rookie year.
Meter dash in high school with a 10.58. For context, that's faster
Like,
than
he take the
Olympic
top off the
sprinters,
defense,
no
for
joke.
real,
While playing
boy.
underneath Nick Saban at Alabama, Henry Ruggs didn't have any character concerns. All the guy did was ball. He had 98 receptions for 1,716 receiving yards and 24 touchdowns over 3 years. He helped win a national championship in 2018, and Nick Saban had nothing but praise. He's a great person, great competitor, and a really hard worker. He never had one problem on our team at Alabama. So the Las Vegas Raiders think that they're drafting a vertical threat. They're Deshaun Jackson type who's going to open up everything for their offense. The guy got $16.7 million guaranteed. Then 7 picks later, that's where things would get interesting. They would shock the entire football world by taking Damon Arnette from Ohio State at 19th overall. To give you an idea of how shocking this was, ESPN's NFL draft predictor gave Damon Arnette a 0.1% chance of being selected in the top 20. That's 0.1%. That's basically
0.1%. That's basically saying he shouldn't even sniff the first round. That's basically what it's saying. So damn. So it was better players on the board. I know it was better DBs on the board. I know it was better players I could have picked on the board ahead of this man, bro. If you really wanted this man, you could have got this man like the second, third round, bro. If y'all had an early second or third, I don't know, but first round, though, nah. Y'all could have picked somebody better.
Saying
that
this will never happen. Most people had him as a late second or third round pick. But here's what's crazy. Mike Mayock, who was the GM at the time, later admitted that they knew about Damon Arnette's character concerns. He literally said, "We did more research on Arnette than anybody else since I've been here, and we missed. There was significant concern. Most teams around the league were very aware of it. So they knew he had problems, they knew other teams wouldn't touch him, and they still took him 19th overall." These two individuals couldn't have been more different. Ruggs at Alabama was basically the golden boy. He was playing in the most pro-ready system in college football, surrounded by 5-star talent everywhere, coached by arguably the greatest college football coach of all time. And off the field, he was spotless. 0 arrests, 0 suspensions, 0 drama. He used to do this 3-finger salute after touchdowns to honor his deceased friend Roderick Scott, who passed away in a car accident that Henry Ruggs was almost in. So you would think this is a character guy. Meanwhile, Damon Arnette at Ohio State was, well, let's just say the warning signs were there. Even in college, scouts were noting the mental makeup issues and undisciplined play. The dude was talented, don't get me wrong. He had 140 tackles, 27 pass breakups, and even took an interception 97 yards to the house against Indiana. But coaches were constantly having to work with him on his attitude and decision making. It's like the Raiders looked at 2 completely different character profiles and decided to roll the dice on both. One was a sure thing with elite talent, and the other was a project with major red flags. And during their rookie seasons,
I mean, I could understand why they picked Ruggs, because Ruggs was that dude in college taking the top off of defense, speed demon. So I understand why they picked Ruggs. But Arnette, I really don't understand why they picked Arnette, honestly.
Henry Ruggs was everything they hoped for. Yeah, he only had 26 receptions for 452 passing yards as a rookie, but that's not the point with a guy like Ruggs. He was stretching the field, making safeties cheat over the top, opening up everything underneath for Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. His best game was Week 5 against Kansas City, 118 yards receiving, including a 72-yard touchdown bomb that had Chiefs fans leaving early. By 2021, before everything went sideways, Henry Ruggs was leading the team in receiving yards. Derek Carr was finally comfortable throwing the deep ball because he had a guy who could actually run under it. John Gruden was building the entire offense around this man's speed. This was Henry Ruggs' breakout season that was tragically cut short. Damon Arnette, on the other end, was terrible. 13 games, 29 tackles, 0 interceptions. His Pro Football Focus grade was a 32.9 overall, which ranked him...
Nigga, 32.9? Damn, nigga. That mean every time a nigga lined up on you, bitch, they had a field day. God.
232nd out of 238 cornerbacks. 232nd. His coverage grade was even worse. 29.6, ranking 230th out of 238. That's not just bad, that's his...
That is terrible. First round. It's 6, 7 round picks that got better grades than you. UDFA's got better grades than that. That's pitiful, bro.
Historically terrible. He would eventually lose his starting job to Casey Hayward, and Trayvon Mullen was barely playing 21% of defensive snaps before he got hurt, and teams were actively targeting him because they knew he was the weakest link in that defense. But none of this would matter, because what would happen next to these individuals would change everything. At this point, you're familiar with this story. November 2nd, 2021, 3:39 a.m. It was this moment that Henry Ruggs ruined multiple lives, ended 2 lives, and destroyed his own. Henry Ruggs is driving his 2020 Corvette down South Rainbow Boulevard in Las Vegas. But he was not just driving, he was flying. We're talking 156 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. And he's drunk. Blood alcohol content is 0.161. That's literally twice the legal limit. At 156 miles per hour, Ruggs rear-ends a Toyota RAV4 driven by Tina Tinter, a 23-year-old Serbian immigrant. The impact happened at 127 miles per hour because he tried to brake at the last second. But when you're going that fast, physics does not care about your impaired reflexes. Let me tell you why Tina Tinter's story matters. She came to Las Vegas as a baby when her family fled war-torn Yugoslavia. She was close to getting her U.S. citizenship, had just started a job at an insurance company, and was studying to become a computer programmer. She had dreams. She had a whole life ahead of her, and she was incinerated to the end of her life in that car as it burned. Her and her 3-year-old golden retriever Max burned to death because a football guy thought he was invincible. Ruggs' girlfriend was in the—
Like I said, dude, when you look on both sides, yeah, Ruggs deserved to be in prison for the rest of his life for taking a life. Yeah, I understand that. And on the other side of it, Ruggs deserved a second chance as a mistake. So I understand both sides of it. But, man, that's crazy.
Car with him. She suffered serious injuries, but Henry, he walked away. Sometimes life isn't fair like that. So Ruggs completely ruined multiple lives. The life of Tina Tinter's family, ended Tina Tinter's own life, and got his NFL dream taken away from him as a result of it. The Raiders immediately release him. There's no other choice. $16 million in guaranteed money gone. Their entire offensive game plan, their field stretcher, who was supposed to be the missing—
imagine you making it to the league, getting paid $16 million, and the snap of the finger, you're in prison. I'm telling you, man, y'all gotta be careful out here, man. Anything can happen, bro.
Piece gone. And if you think that's where the story ends, you're wrong, because 5 days later, Damon Arnette tried to compete with this level of stupidity. This video would surface on social media of Damon Arnette waving guns around and making death threats against people who were just talking trash in his DMs.
I swear to God, I will kill you.
Oh my God, bro. Y'all niggas is
I can't wait to take my 35 first. On everything I love, I will kill you. Like, I really did kill you.
And it would just get worse for Damon Arnette.
NFL
This
you can't be
timeline of
doing
chaos.
that,
October of 2020, he has a hit and run crash at 65 miles per hour, leaves the scene, and has his friend claim responsibility. 1 year later, he's arrested for assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon without a permit, and drug possession. A few months later, he has 2 arrests in Miami within 24 hours for a suspended license and drug charges. And then in January of 2024, the dude was arrested in Texas for possession of meth. Bro, if you're arrested for possession of meth, your life isn't going well. Mike Mayock later on revealed that during Arnette's rookie year, he crashed 4 rental cars within roughly a month. 4 cars in a month.
Damn, 4 rental cars in a month. This nigga been a menace, boy. God damn. 4 cars in a month? You got possession of meth? Damn, Arnette. I'm surprised teams still even taking chances on you, bro. Damn.
How do you even do that? Damon Arnette would have opportunity after opportunity. I mean, the Raiders would cut him after the gun incident. The Chiefs would sign him to their practice squad. And then when he got into trouble again, they would move on from him. But here's where the story takes a crazy turn. Both of these guys are now trying to make comebacks, and the timing is absolutely insane. Ruggs is currently at Casa Grande Transitional Center, which is literally less than a mile from Allegiant Stadium where he used to play. The irony is unreal. He's working at the Nevada Governor's Mansion for $2 $2.50 an hour as part of his sentence. And according to his former teammate Josh Jacobs, he's been training and staying in shape because he still believes he can play in the NFL. This is what Jacobs actually said.
He's a good kid, never been in trouble. I've never seen him do nothing crazy. Like, he was just one of them guys that had a very, very unfortunate situation and something happened, a decision that he made. And that's what hurt me the most, because I'm like, man, he ain't somebody that you would look at and be like, bro, you deserve this to happen to you.
Henry Ruggs is eligible for parole on August 5th, 2026. He'll be 27 years old, still in his athletic prime. But guys, this man killed someone while driving drunk at 156 miles per hour. The public relations nightmare alone would be insane. Meanwhile, Damon Arnette has been on his own redemption tour. After all those arrests and legal issues, he managed to get himself together enough to play in the UFL for the Houston Roughnecks. And apparently, he was actually pretty good. 18 tackles, 1 pick six for 51 yards, 5 pass breakups in 7 games. UFL Executive VP Bruce Johnston said, the first time I met him, his appearance even, you see a completely different Damon Arnette. Very professional. He was very remorseful for everything that happened. Everybody I talked to said that he was genuinely changed. And that brings us to the most recent news. The Houston Texans signed Damon Arnette. They worked him out, liked what they saw, and decided to take a flyer on him. Now, this makes some sense for Houston. They've got Derek Stingley Jr. as
damn, after all that, after all you did, a team still taking a chance, so you gotta make the best of that, bro. For real.
their lockdown corner, and they could use some depth. Arnette's still only 28 years old, and if he's really changed, they're getting a former first-round talent for basically nothing. But this is also his absolute last chance. Teams don't give guys with his rap sheet multiple opportunities. If he messes up in Houston,
Just
and
like
I mean
I said,
any kind of mess up, his
count,
NFL career is over forever. The crazy thing is, the Houston Texans are actually in a great position to take this risk. They're a young rising team with strong leadership. If anyone can handle a reclamation project like Arnette, it might be them. Now look guys, I know we joke about these guys and their terrible decisions, but let's be real for a second. Tina Tinter's dead. She'll never get to achieve her dreams, never get to see her family again, and never get to become the person she was meant to be. Her parents have to live with that pain every single day, and Henry Ruggs has to live with that too. And you can see it in his face during that apology video. This isn't just about football careers. Real lives were destroyed. But at the same time, that brings forth another question. Do people deserve second chances? Can someone truly change after hitting rock bottom? And that's the question we're all wrestling with, and that's a question that could divide the comment section of this video. And that's where Henry Ruggs' situation is so complicated, because ending someone's life because you decided to drive drunk at 156 miles per hour isn't a mistake. It's a choice that had consequences. The fact that he's even thinking about playing football again while serving time for—
So none of your friends, none of your homeboys are like, hey bro, you drunk, you don't need to be driving. Ain't none of them said that? Hey bro, you in the NFL, bro, we don't want nothing to happen, you drunk. We don't want nothing to happen to you, bro. Damn. Gotta watch the company you keep.
Vehicular homicide just doesn't sit so well with me. But at the same time, the NFL has allowed players back for similar crimes before. Dante Stallworth ended someone's life in a DUI crash and still came back to play. Leonard Little did the same thing and had a long career, so there is precedent. The difference might be the speed and the circumstances. 156 miles per hour is just a different level of recklessness. That's not impaired judgment. That's complete disregard for human life. But based on the pain I see in this individual's face each and every day, based off the fact that he was robbed of tens of millions of dollars, and based off the fact that he may not have the same opportunity ever again once he does sign with a football team, no team's gonna bring in Henry Ruggs to be wide receiver 1. I wouldn't be surprised if another football team gives him a second chance.
Oh, it's a team out there that'll give him a chance, alright? It's plenty of teams.
If he's truly sorry.
Lining up ready and
let me
waiting.
know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about these two individuals? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Boy, look at AB, right? AB going through it. We don't know what's wrong with AB, but AB losing his mind. But damn, boy, that's the end of that video, man. That was a good video right there. Henry Ruggs, boy, I ain't gonna lie. It's a team out, so if he get released, it's teams and GMs just lining up waiting to get him. Yeah. He too talented just to be not being on the team, and he able to play, and he gonna be 27. Boy, it's gonna be teams out there, boy, to grab him. But I ain't saying it was a horrible decision he did. Like I said, RIP the girl and the dog that was in the situation. That's horrible. But man, it was a mistake. It's not like he meant to do it. I definitely feel like he deserved a second chance, though, man. For real, though. Everybody should deserve a second chance. That's the end of that video, man. He made this far. Make sure you like, subscribe, TJ out.